Okay. Yes, there is one episode that sticks out, and it was just, it's something I never expected to hear or have to conversate. It was myself and Russell Glasser were on the show, and there was a caller, Hamish, if I'm not mistaken, that called in.
Yeah,
and,
back in February, right?
I'm not sure if it was in February, but because he's called in multiple times.
Okay,
but,
gotcha.
In this case, he was angry at us, not atheism in general, not some weird metaphor. He was angry at us, the Atheist Community of Austin, for not denouncing idol worship more here in the United States. And of course, me and Russell were like, what is happening? Like, what are we talking about? He started referencing things like, oh, when people go to a concert, well, that's idol worship. So when people go to a Beyonce concert, well, they're worshiping her. And it was the most bizarre thing. Like, not that even that he was calling the show to talk about that, but that we, like, specifically were personally responsible for denouncing people doing actions like this. Like, it was just like, I don't even understand how you're coming to this conclusion, or that it's our responsibility to voice this opinion that you have to the masses of the world. But he kept going and started talking about one of his family members. I think it was his niece or something. And the fact that she had a boy band's poster on the wall, and he just could not wrap his head around why she would be idling and worshiping this boy band on the wall. And so as a response to that, Russell starts going into, at a certain age, when we reach a certain age, you start having feelings. And he started going down this whole line as if he was explaining the freaking birds and bees talk on the fucking atheist experience. And I'm sitting there in disbelief to the side, like in my mind, I can't believe this is happening. And it's, Russell's just going and explaining this attraction that occurs in pubescent adolescence. And after the call was over, I remember saying, I cannot believe we just had to talk.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was just, and the audience laughed, and internally I was just like, I can't believe that this just freaking happened on TAE. That call was probably one of the most hilarious and weird and unexpected calls that I ever would have gotten. It's just, it tickles me to this day.
His accent too reinforces everything, because he's a Scottish or Irish? Really deep Scottish.
Scotch. Yeah. His claim was that he was Scotch.
And
Scottish, yes.
All of his calls, 90% of his calls all start the same way on your show or Talkie. Then it always starts with, I am once again very disturbed by the atheist propagation. And I can just imagine that when you go to a Beyonce concert, you are engaging in idol worship. His voice just makes the whole thing for me. Oh my goodness. And he always has these these outrageous propositions like, how as an atheist could you possibly justify eating meat? And it's and then he'll go on a totally irrelevant about morality and what he thinks must be moral for atheists versus without having that Christian background. Because basically, if it's not in the Bible, then if it's in the Bible as an atheist, you possibly couldn't live by it for any other means. Yeah, he's a character.
It's an amazing thing. He never sticks to the original thing that he told the college friend. Yeah. It would always go on a tangent, and you never know where you would end up. And oh boy, when I was on with Tracy, I think he called in then, and which was one of my first times being on the show with Tracy, whom I love to death, and we both saw him there, and she kept him on hold. And we did the whole show, and at the very end, she put it out there that I've kept someone on hold the entire show, and it was on purpose. And like it was like boom, it was an awesome sign off to a show. But she kept his ass there the whole show, and then ended the fucking show. It was like boom, we're done. It was amazing.
I also love her. So the caller that sticks out the most to me on any of the shows is usually, and he now interacts with my channel and usually just comes in and talks some trash. But he's called Victor, and he's a flat earther. I don't know if you've gotten to interact with him yet, but.
Not really, interacting with. I'm not. Was this the same one that called in to talk heathens? Like when EJ was on?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, satellites aren't real. Can you take a picture of a satellite? Show me a picture of a satellite, and then we'll discuss if they're real or not. And how could this work? And how could this? And the Earth's not a pear shape. I'll tell you that much. That's my. Yeah, wow. As I'm doing all these impressions, people are going to realize that I actually am the person behind all of these terrible colors.